quote when I'm talking there.
Yeah.
I always go on LinkedIn to, look at your, you have interesting topics, great insight, all those things.
Yeah.
But I did read something, I think it was today.
It was, yeah.
It was in Toronto, our Peel region, it's a
Peel,
region in Toronto, closed all their schools.
Yeah.
You said it was not a good thing to do, reprehensible and things, because I think you included a Toronto Star article from the a year ago or something.
No, it was January. It was
January of this year. Okay, sorry, thank you. Not the evidence is there. From what I'm hearing, I'm going to have to disagree.
Yeah.
And I did do a little research. Dr. Michael Ulsterholm, he's the director for the Center of Infectious Disease at the University of Minnesota. He was on Biden's medical team pre-election.
Yeah.
The whole thing, he talks about how the B117 variant's a brand new ballgame. He was the biggest believer that schools should never close.
Right.
But he's changed his mind because the evidence from the British Medical Journal, he said anywhere you look, where you see this emerging, you see that kids are playing a huge role in this transmission of this.
Okay.
All the things that we had planned for about kids in schools with this virus, they're no longer applicable.
Okay.
We got to take a look at the issue. Just one more thing that I'll let you respond. In New Jersey, there was an increase of the young folks, 31 and 48% from 20 to 29, increased by 31% with the variant.
Yeah.
40 to 49 by 48%.
Right.
And even if the transmission, I believe, is in the community, schools are community hubs. We talk about neighborhoods.
Yeah.
A lot of those essential workers who have to go to work, pick up their kids in certain neighborhoods.
Yeah, right.
And the kids are now transmitting that. So yeah.
So
your point was,
Yeah, I mean, you did some good homework. I applaud you. That's what people should do is read, find evidence, inform yourself. We're intelligent people. We've been educated by, like I was telling you earlier, what got me interested in this sort of world of small business was really my teachers throughout life, just pushing me in subtle paths that were part of my own interest, but needed guidance. So what you did was perfect. I love that. And what I would do is I would take that research that you just highlighted to me, and I would balance it off against the research that I've been reading. And I would weigh it, and I would say, maybe something's changed. Maybe I haven't seen all the latest research, and I would maybe change my opinion. But I will say this, you did highlight that 20 to 29-year-olds were kind of more impacted by this. If you look at the data, so when you look at the data that actually the Ontario government provides all of us, it's a free public data tool. It's a great one. I promoted it a couple times. No one looks at it. Reporters don't look at it. They
What is it?
When you look, it's called the Ontario COVID Public Health Data Tool. And
we're going to post it up, folks.
Yeah, and in one of my LinkedIn posts, I put a link to it.
Okay. Awesome.
You can break down daily case counts, hospitalizations, and deaths, right? Which is the saddest thing that can happen, but it's the ultimate kind of metric by which you'd say this is really something we have to be very careful of. And if you look just by age, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed with young people being more susceptible. What's changed is, yes, as a proportion of people in hospital, young people are making up larger proportions. Why? Because the older people have been vaccinated and they're not getting sick. So yes, doctors are quote unquote not lying when they say we're seeing a lot more young people, because the number of old people who have been vaccinated aren't showing up sick into hospital wards. But are the absolute numbers of young people increasing? Are the absolute numbers of young people hospitalized, dying from COVID? No. And if you compare it, if you look at the data, Rob, if you compare it to a bad influenza season, anyone under 60 has about the same or less. If you look at young people, influenza is by far more deadly, but these are small rates to begin with. You're talking about people. So for influenza, it's like 1.7 out of 100,000 kids can die from influenza. You know what the rate is for young? I'm talking kids under 16. What's the rate for kids in Ontario?
I don't want to take a guess. I thought it was 2 point something. Oh, sorry.
No, 0.3 per 100,000.
So completely wrong.
There's been one. So I'm just going to tell you that what you did was excellent. And that's what I would encourage people to do. Go to research, go to data. And I would encourage people to then do their own work, make their own assessments. The other thing you have to remember, the last thing I'll say, Rob, is there is a balance. If you only look at one thing, it will blind you to the other things. There are unintended consequences. And
oh my
people,
goodness.
Especially when you don't open schools, the majority of people
women,
are still going to go out to work. And guess where they leave their kids? with their parents, because they don't have the means that other communities with higher incomes who have maybe nannies, who have other resources available, they don't have that. So the unintended consequences, you always have to look out. And I think that's where I was saying, it wouldn't add up. If I was doing the analysis and I looked at all the data, I might change my mind. And I think you're doing exactly what you should do, which is just like, hey, I got a concern here, and I'm putting it to you. So thank you, Rob.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you for being kind to me. It wasn't so much; it was their transmission of it from children has increased. They said, that's the danger. So kids can get it and spread it to those people who are essential workers.
Okay,
that's all. But no, we'll do my homework. I love homework. I miss school.